Namaste viewers, welcome to Avinash Bio category. In the previous video, we observed the raw materials are the major tools required for that translation process to occur. So different types of RNAs, so different types of factors and different types of enzymes all together in the cytoplasm. So they are next going to perform the important step, that is the translation step. So in this video, let us see how exactly the process is going to happen by using all those materials, raw materials. If you don't know those raw materials exactly, go to my previous video. So there I have given the class on the raw materials. What are the different raw materials? That means enzymes, initiation factor, elongation factor, termination factor, along with that one energy molecules and different types of RNAs. So all together, along with the different types of enzymes, all together they are going to perform this important step, translation. So first previous this one we were having the transcription step, that is production of mRNA. Next we came to the translation. So in this translation, that is which is occurring in the cytoplasm for the production of polypeptide chain. So we have to use all those raw materials for the production of polypeptide chain. So in this video, let us focus how exactly the protein synthesis, how exactly the polypeptide chain is going to be synthesized. Yes, thank you. So let us see how in the cytoplasm the translation process is exactly occurring here, right? So here, since it is a vast process, since it is a energy requiring process, so here ATP molecules, GTP molecules, they have been used. Along with that one, assembly of different structures will occur, that will take place here, right? So in the brief sense, that is in touch with our previous class, we are having three types of RNAs, mRNA, tRNA and rRNA, and we are having some factors: initiation factor, elongation factor and termination factor. Termination factor means we will sometimes refer it as that is a releasing factor also, right? And along with that one, we are having some enzymes. So the enzymes, if we consider amino acyl synthetase enzyme, so peptide transferase enzyme, peptidal synthetase enzyme, then a translocase enzyme. So in that sense, we are having different types of enzymes. Now how those are acting together to form a polypeptide chain, let us see that one. So here, if you want to see this overall process, we can divide the overall process into 4 steps. So 4 steps. The first step is activation of amino acid, the first one. Second one is initiation. Initiation of what? Initiation of chain formation, first one, which is chain? Polypeptide chain. And the next one is elongation. So elongation of what? That is same, elongation of polypeptide chain. And the last one is a termination, as it is the same step. And not only here, in replication, in the transcription, in all the cases, we are having these 3 common steps: initiation, elongation, termination. And in replication, we are having this same step as it is, activation of not amino acid, activation of nucleotides in case of replication. There afterwards, initiation, elongation, termination. Here we are not activating nucleotides, first we need to activate amino acids. Yes, by using the activated amino acids, we have to initiate the process by the assembly of 3 different RNAs. Then the process will elongate, it will proceed. At one point the process is going to stop, that is the termination point. Like that, we are having this total the majorly 4 steps here, right? And one more thing, just like a transcription unit, we are having a translation unit also. Translation unit means that is nothing but mRNA. But the thing is, in the mRNA, from where the initiator codon comes. So before the initiator codon there will be some unwanted nucleotide sequences. That means from the protein synthesis point of view they are not directly involving, they are not making any sense there. So such kind of sequences we will refer them as untranslated regions, UTR. So except UTR, that means including UTR, the starting point, elongating point, ending point, all total together we will refer it as translation unit, right? Now in this translation unit, how the 4 steps are going to happen. So let us see them one by one. So let me consider the first step. What is the first step here? Activation of amino acid, the first step. So as already told you, as already you know, so in the cytoplasm we are having 20 different types of amino acids. That means we have to consider 20 different types of amino acids in the cytoplasm, and all these 20 types together called as proteinogenic amino acids, right? Now by using these 20 types of amino acids, we have to start the process. Before the initiation of the process, first we have to activate them, we have to charge them, charging of amino acids. How to charge? So keep one thing in your mind, in that metabolism sense, so charging or activation is nothing but we have to give the ATP molecule for that. That means energy molecule we have to donate. So giving the energy is nothing but that molecule is going to activate. Now in that sense amino acid is going to activate, but for this activation a specific enzyme is needed. That enzyme name is amino acyl tRNA synthetase. Amino acyl tRNA synthetase. So how it is exactly the process is going to happen means, we have to consider one amino acid, any one out of 20, any one amino acid, right? Now in this amino acid, it is getting combined with ATP. So ATP is giving the energy for combining of this amino acid to the enzyme. So next it is going to combine with the enzyme. The enzyme name is, let me write here, amino acyl tRNA synthetase. So this is the enzyme, right? Now all these three together they are going to combine. So here when ATP is giving the energy, at that time from the ATP means it is having the 3-phosphate, from the ATP AMP get attaching both the amino acid and this enzyme. That means 2 phosphates are released outside. So let me write them here. Yes, now this is the amino acid plus enzyme complex. So this is one complex, the complex occurring by the combination of amino acid to this enzyme. Now both have been combined, we will call it as amino acyl adenylate tRNA synthetase. Yes, now just I told you from this one AMP is used, here AMP is used, adenylate AMP is used, and in that sense we can write 2 inorganic phosphates get released outside, and those 2 inorganic phosphates we will call them as a pyrophosphate. So this is the first step here, but thing is we need to attach this enzyme which is having the amino acid, that should be attached with the tRNA. So this is our thing here now, right? Now this, okay, now let me write just simply amino acid plus enzyme. So this is the complex, enzyme amino acid complex. Now it is there here. Now it combines with tRNA, so transfer RNA. Now it is going to combine. When it is going to combine, after combining the enzyme get released outside. when the enzyme is going to release outside, at that time the used AMP from the ATP, that is also coming outside. So then what will be the final reaction here? Amino acid, the enzyme is going to release outside as it is. Now it is going to combine with tRNA, amino acid plus tRNA, both are combined together. Now our enzyme released outside along with AMP also released outside, adenosine monophosphate. That adenosine monophosphate once again combines with these two pyrophosphates, the pyrophosphate molecule, once again it becomes ATP. So this is the overall thing. Now amino acid enzyme combined with the tRNA, enzyme release outside, now tRNA combined with amino acid. So this is the important form, amino acid now combined with tRNA. So when we will get that molecule, we will consider as activated amino acid. Now amino acids are activated or tRNA is getting charged. Now tRNA get charged here. By using such kind of charged tRNA or the tRNA having amino acids, we have to start the process here. Now just I told you 20 types of amino acids are present, means that means here one type amino acid combines with one specific type tRNA. That means 20 different tRNAs we are having. Now they are going to combine. Now the question will be arised, where exactly the amino acid is going to combine. So let me show the diagram. Imagine. So in one of my video that is in the RNA world, already we have discussed about this one. Once we have seen already this portion, that is a tRNA, cloverleaf model of tRNA. So now tRNA is going to attach with amino acid. So this is the thing. So in this tRNA, this is a 3' end and this is the 5' end. So at the 3' end, we are having CAA nucleotide structure last at the tip region, CCA, and here this CCA end, it is having free OH group, that is hydroxyl group. That hydroxyl group is functional, hence it combines with amino acid. That means here the amino acid is going to combine. Here it is combining amino acid. That means this tip region is considered to be the amino acid acceptor site. And here when the amino acid is attaching, who will perform that work? Who will facilitate that one? The enzyme. What is the enzyme? Amino acyl tRNA synthetase enzyme, right? This enzyme, it is having a specific location on the tRNA. This is the location, right? So this is the enzyme. This enzyme is going to attach at this place. So this is the amino acyl synthetase enzyme attaching loop. So all these three are the loops. That side, that loop. So here in this loop, it is going to attach with ribosome. So this is the ribosome attaching site. tRNA is going to attach with ribosome. And downside, this loop finally. So it is having a specific 3 codons. Those are called as anticodons. So this is the anticodon loop. Anticodon present on tRNA, codon present on mRNA. Now both are combining together. That means downside, from the downside it is getting attached with mRNA. So this is the mRNA. Now imagine here, all the 3 RNAs have been combined here. This is tRNA. Ribosome means it is made up of rRNA, tRNA, mRNA. All together they are going to combine. When this process needs to happen, at that time, this is the important step, that is carrying of amino acid. So here the specific amino acid, just I told you, specific amino acid attaches with the specific tRNA, not with all the tRNA. How to decide that one means, so it is totally depending on anticodon loop. So anticodon loop, it is specific for this codon of mRNA, and codon of mRNA, it is a specific for this amino acid. So whatever the amino acid it is carrying. So all these are the specific. That means one is connected with another one exactly and perfectly. If there is something wrong, then the total protein molecule which is going to be formed in the next, that is going to be disturbed. That is the thing, whole thing here. So now this is the exact thing how it is going to happen. And one more thing, in this tRNA, so these are the double stranded structures, all these are. So in the double stranded structures, remaining all parts are single stranded, but this tRNA portion is double stranded. So here majorly G and C, so those nucleotide pairs, the base pairs are present here majorly. That is the thing here. Now, okay, amino acid is getting activated here, right? After the activation of amino acid, say for example, now as already we know, the first amino acid which will begin the process, which will begin the translation process, that first amino acid would be methionine. So as already we know, methionine, this is the initial amino acid which will start the process. Why? Because methionine, it is coded by AUG. As already we know, AUG is the initiator codon present on the mRNA. If AUG code is present, means methionine will attach. Imagine, this is the methionine. I will write it as MET. This is the methionine amino acid attached to the tRNA. So here mRNA is having AUG, that is the codon. If codon is AUG, means anticodon is UAC. That means tRNA having USA anticodon having amino acid methionine. Now methionine is ready for the process to begin, but the thing is, in the methionine we need, so here let me write here, in the methionine we need COOH group free. What is that COOH group? What is this methionine? Methionine means amino acid. Amino acids, they are compulsorily having COOH group, functional group, COOH group, carboxylic group. So that carboxylic group should be free from that amino acid. It should be free for attaching with other molecule. So when to make this COOH group free from the methionine amino acid, we need one process. The process name is formylation process. Yes, the process name is formylation process. So formylation process means making the COOH group from the methionine amino acid or any amino acid, making it free for reaction. So because of that reason, here methionine is getting converted into formylation. Hence we will refer it as FMET tRNA. So this is the FMET tRNA. I am talking about this one. This is the FMET tRNA. So just see here, F means formylated. That means undergoing the formylation process. MET means methionine amino acid. And this is the tRNA. FMET tRNA. This is the FMET tRNA. Now this tRNA is ready for the process to begin. That means it will show the initiation process. Just I give you the example of one methionine amino acid carrying attached to the tRNA. Like the 20 different types of amino acids we are having attached to the 20 different but specific tRNA molecules, right? So that is the activation of amino acid, the first one. Next here, it will undergo the initiation step. So let me rub here. Okay, let me consider the initiation step, how exactly the initiation is going to occur. So during initiation step, we need to focus on ribosomes. So as already we know, the ribosomes are nothing but the protein factories, and here in a case of prokaryotes and in case of eukaryotes, it is a little bit different. In case of prokaryotes, we are having 70S type ribosome. So in the 70S type, we are having 30S plus 50S. Together it becomes 70S, not 80S. So what is this 30S? This is the smaller subunit and this is the larger subunit. So ribosome is made up of two subunits. And in the case of eukaryotes, it is having 80S type of ribosome. That 80S type is made up of 40s plus 60s. So smaller subunit and larger subunit. And so here prokaryotes is having only a 70 type ribosome, but eukaryote is having 80s as well as 70s also. So where these exactly the 70s types of ribosomes present means, so these are present in mitochondria and chloroplast. So these are the energy yielding as well as food yielding organelles. So in these special cell organelles, 70s type ribosomes are present. That means there also translation process occurs, but 70s type. But majorly we have to focus on the translation process occurring in the cytoplasm. But prokaryote do not have these cell organelles. So here only 70s type of ribosome is present. Now we are looking the translation process in the prokaryotes majorly, right? We have to consider that one. So here when there is no process, when there is no occurring of the process, at that time, see, this is the ribosome we are having. There is no process when there is when the process has not been begun. At that time, both the subunits of the ribosomes present in the dissociated form. 30s is one side and 50s is one side. That is we will consider as a dissociated form. So this is the 30s ribosome subunit, and to this 30s ribosomal subunit, now mRNA is going to attach. This is the mRNA. Yes. This mRNA, it is having the 5' end and that side 3' end. 5' end means cap, 3' end means tail. That means cap region which is going to attach to the 30s ribosomal subunit. That means it is having one groove for that one, for passing of that one. And now when it is going to attach, at that time, so let me mark here. Here IF3, initiation factor 3 also attaches here. And one more thing, when the initiation factor is going to attach, for attachment of that one GTP molecule get used, GTP get converted into GDP. So when for initiation factor to attach there, and when, so now at that time, so one tRNA is going to attach here. Now the tRNA molecule has to be attached here. But thing is, as already we know, so imagine just one thing. Here, this what I have marked here, this portion is considered to be the initiator codon. What is that initiator codon? AUG. Sometimes it might be the GUG. So here the AUG is present here. So this portion, it is not undergoing translation. That is the UTR, untranslated region, this side. And imagine, so this is the portion last. So this is the terminator region present here. Terminator codon is present there. Terminator codon onwards, that is also considered to be the UTR. Now, so here, one tRNA molecule, it is combining over here. So it is going to attach here. Let me mark here the tRNA molecule. Yes. So this is the tRNA molecule get attached over here. Now it is having a amino acid. So at its 3' end, it is having amino acid. What is that amino acid? Methionine. So N formilated methionine tRNA, this total structure. Now it is attaching to the mRNA molecule, and mRNA is having 3 codons. One codon is there present here, that is AUG, initiator codon. Here AUG means this is having UAC. So UAC anticodon is going to lock over here. Now it has been locked here. So at that time, yes. So this is the larger subunit is attaching over here. Now the larger subunit attach here. What is that larger subunit? 50s. 50s larger subunit is attached here. So when this 50s larger subunit will attach, 30s 50s together they are going to form 70s type of ribosome. That step is considered to be the assembly of ribosomal subunits. For assembly, here one more factor is used for assembly. Let me write here that assembly, for assembly of both subunits. So here IF1 which is going to be used, and here also when IF1 is going to combine both together along with the help of Mg+2 ions. So these two, IF1 and Mg+2 ion, helps in combining both the subunits. Now thing is, this total ribosome, that is a larger subunit, it is having 3 sites. So those 3 sites we will mark them as P site, A site and E site. We are having 3 sites. So what is this P site? P means peptidal transferase site. The first one, P site. What is the peptidal transferase? Peptidal transferase, this is the enzyme. So this is the enzyme. So that, what is the work of that enzyme? That enzyme helps in the formation of making peptide bond between the 2 amino acids. So that is the one, right? That enzyme attached site, that is a P site, and that enzyme, it is a nothing but rRNA. That peptidal transferase enzyme is nothing but, that is one special type of rRNA. That rRNA is 23S rRNA. 23S rRNA. So as already we know, in the at the time of evolution, so when the life has begun, at that time the first formed enzymes are not proteins, so those are RNA, actually rRNA. So 23S rRNA, that is acting as peptidal transferase enzyme. So that's the site we will refer it as P site, or in general sense we can refer it as permission site. That means from this point onwards the process begins, the initiation occurs. Now after that one we are having A site. So here A site means amino acyl site, or sometimes we will also call it as acceptor site. It is accepting tRNA molecules one by one, this site, A site, or amino acyl site it is also referred as. So E site means exit site. This is the exit site. Exit site means after the work is completed, tRNA molecules are exiting from this side. That what it indicates, the total larger subunit, it is having a groove. So let me consider it as a groove. Through the groove, the tRNA molecules are going outside. That groove is nothing but the E site, we will refer it as. And one more thing, when both the subunits get attached, at the center here a groove is formed. Through the groove, the mRNA is passing through that groove. So this is the starting step here. Now that tRNA get attached here, so both have been locked, codon and anticodon. Now we are having another codon here side, for example GGC, next codon. GGC means the anticodon should be CCG. CCG anticodon carrying the second tRNA molecule attached here. So imagine this is the second tRNA, not exactly that shape, just for convenience point of view I am drawing like that. So this is the second tRNA. Now the second tRNA is carrying the specific amino acid. Now let me call them as, this is the first amino acid and this is the second amino acid. Now in between both the amino acid, a bond is created. What is that bond? Peptide bond. Who will create that bond? Peptidal transferase enzyme. That means here the bond is created. Now when the bond is created, where exactly the bond is created means the COH group of one amino acid and the NH2 group of second amino acid, the bond is created. After the work has been done, once the bond is created, let me show here. Imagine the bond has been created. Now the 2 amino acids get joined, 1 and 2. Both amino acids get joined here. Now its work is over. First tRNA, attached tRNA present at P site. The second coming tRNA get attached at A site. P site and A site. What is the remaining here? E site. Now this tRNA work is done. Its work is over. Now it will jump to the E site. It will jump to the E site. The question will be asked, how it will jump to the E site? Not literally jumping. So what exactly it will occur here, happens here means, Imagine this is the mRNA 5' to 3'. Now mRNA is having the codons. Now we have to read the codons. When we are reading the codons, then one by one successive specific tRNA molecules will attach. Now while reading, always keep in your mind, reading of nucleotides direction is 5' to 3'. Now who is reading here? Ribosome is reading. Why ribosome? It is having rRNA, and not ribosome, tRNA it is reading. But for the tRNA, the ribosome is helping. Now the ribosome is moving in this direction over the mRNA. When it is moving from 5' to 3' direction, imagine this is the mRNA we are having. Now the ribosome is moving from 5' to 3'. When it is moving, codons are changing one by one codons are changing. So at that time, automatically the tRNA comes to the E site. Then from the E site, it will go into the cytoplasm. Here the cytoplasm is present. So its work is done. It will go to the cytoplasm. Next it will come with another amino acid, specific amino acid. So how the process exactly it is going on here. Now the process continues. Imagine the ribosome, it is coming to this point here. So one more thing, where the factors have been used here. So initiation factor 3 it is used first. Next initiation factor 1 it has been used. What is the next one here? Initiation factor 2, IF2. So initiation factor 2 it is used when the first tRNA molecule is attaching here. Now the 3 initiation factor work is over. When the second tRNA is attaching, at that time elongation factor is used, EF. So EFTU and EFTS. So these two elongation factors are using for receiving one by one tRNA when the process is going on. And here one more is there here, EFG, elongation factor G. This is at most important. This factor work is whenever the used tRNA is going into the cytoplasm through the exit site, at that time EFG will use. And keep that same thing in your mind. Whenever EFG is working, whenever other factors are working, compulsory they are using the GTP molecules. So this is the energy consuming process. Now the same process is occurring. It will go to up to this region, that is up to the terminator region. So what might be there in the terminator region? Either it may be UAA or UGA or UAG. So anyone should be present at the terminator region, right? Out of these three, anyone should be present at the terminator region. And thing is, when the ribosome structure reaches that terminator region, at that time no tRNA molecules will join over there at that place. So because of that reason, the process will end. Just I told you, the ribosome is moving over the mRNA from 5' to 3' direction by reading the codons one by one present on the mRNA. But when it is moving, one enzyme is used. The enzyme name is translocase. The enzyme is translocase. When a translocase enzyme is used, at that time for this enzyme to work, again a GTP molecule has been used for this enzyme to work. So its enzyme work is movement of entire tRNA over the mRNA. So one by one it is moving, and continuously the tRNA molecules are joining their amino acids one by one. Now its tRNA work is over, it is shifted to E site. Now it is going into the cytoplasm. Imagine this tRNA is not there. This tRNA which is having 2 amino acid, then it will come to the P site. From A site it comes to the P site. So now again the codon is changed downside. One more tRNA will attach to the A site. Why? Because tRNA is shifted to P site. Now this tRNA is having 2 amino acids. Those 2 amino acids are shifted to the next coming tRNA. That means next coming tRNA will be having 3 amino acid. That means dipeptide, tripeptide, tetrapeptide. Like that the chain length going to increase. So imagine many amino acids have been joined here. So many amino acids. Now this chain is called as the polypeptide chain. Now the process, that is movement of ribosome, come to up to this portion. Now the process should be stopped. To stop this process, suppose, imagine UGA, this codon is present here at that time. So one factor, that is Let me write here RF2, releasing factor 2. Releasing factor 2, if this codon is present, UGA, if this codon is present here, then the releasing factor 2, it will stop the process, entire process. It will stop the entire process. Suppose if UAG is present means, then RF factor 1 will use to stop that entire process. Or if UAA is present means, either RF1 or RF2, any one releasing factor will use over there, right? And for these factors to work, again the GTP molecules will use. Now the question will be arised. Of course the process is stopped there, still the last tRNA is having many amino acids over its head. Now this is the polypeptide chain. Imagine this is our polypeptide chain. So that is, this has been taken, or it has been attached to the last tRNA. Now we have to remove this polypeptide chain. It has to go outside. To do that one, here one more enzyme is used. That enzyme name is peptidyl synthetase. So this is the enzyme. It helps in cutting off polypeptide chain from the last tRNA. Now this polypeptide chain, it will go outside through a groove. This is the groove. Imagine through the groove it will go outside into the cytoplasm. When it will go outside, we will consider it as a primary structure of polypeptide chain. That will undergo folding and form secondary structure, tertiary structure, that is in endoplasmic reticulum or in the Golgi complex. Something will happen over there. Finally it get converted into activational form. So this is how different kinds of enzymes have been used over here, right? Now when the oral process is completed, at that time both the subunits, smaller subunit and larger subunit, both get dissociated. For dissociation of both the subunits, again one more factor is used, that is a DF, dissociation factor get used. So keep one thing in your mind, here for every process to occur, some factors are necessary. Initiation factors, for elongation factors, for termination terminator factors, for dissociation, so these factors, right? For assembly, for that means for joining up both the subunits, so here initiation factor 1 is used, right? Now for dissociation of these two, we are having special dissociation factors. Now of course both get separated here. tRNA it has gone, its work is over. Now the mRNA is remained. So that mRNA which has been remained there, that mRNA will undergo degradation. Degradation of mRNA. When it will undergo degradation means it will cut into those many pieces. So it is that means like this, it will separate it into many nucleotides. Those nucleotides again used for other transcription or translation, different processes. So that will be free in the cytoplasm. So this is the overall thing, how exactly the process is going to happen. By using different enzymes, by using different factors, now the process is occurring here. Yes, but thing is, just we observe this overall process by using just one ribosome, that thing. But in some cases, in prokaryotes, we will see the structure of so let me mark here one more special case. Suppose if this is the mRNA 5' to 3', in case of prokaryotes, so here not only one ribosome, many ribosomes will work on one mRNA. Just say for example, this is the first ribosome. Let me show you. The first ribosome is attached here. Ribosome is moving from 5' to 3' end by reading the codons present on the mRNA. Now it is moving. Yes, when it is moving on one mRNA, just one polypeptide chain should be produced. But in some cases, many ribosomes attached at on one mRNA, hence forms many copies of one polypeptide chain by using just one mRNA. Say here, imagine the first mRNA, now it is moving. When it is moving, imagine when the mRNA will come to this position, again the second mRNA, when the first ribosome is coming to this place, the second ribosome will follow that one, right? Next, imagine the first ribosome is coming to this place. This is the first ribosome. Next, this is the second ribosome, and the third ribosome is follow it. Again, first ribosome is moving further, second will follow that one, third will follow that one, fourth will join backside. So like that, many ribosomes moving on one mRNA strand. So when they are moving from this one, we are getting polypeptide chain. Polypeptide chain. Yes, we are getting. And here, in that sense, if you see this one, many ribosomes attach on one mRNA, and all the ribosomes are producing their respective polypeptide chains. All the ribosomes are producing. That means many copies of polypeptide chain produced from just by using one mRNA. Now the overall structure is considered to be the polyribosome. The overall structure or polysome. This polysome also looks like the bead on the string-like structures. Many beads on the one string-like structure. And here one thing, when a ribosome is moving, just imagine this is the mRNA. The first ribosome is attached here, so it will move further. How much means? 25 nucleotides. When it will read 25 nucleotides, so this is the mRNA, it will read 25 nucleotides, then backside one more ribosome will attach. Now the keep on going, the first ribosome and second ribosome. So like that, many ribosomes are attached one by one from the backside, from 5' end. Now many ribosomes get attached here. The total overall structure will refer it as polyribosome or polysome. This kind of structures we are going to observe in prokaryotes. It is major specificity in case of a special thing in case of prokaryotes. So here one ribosome producing one polypeptide chain, and all these are the multiple copies of one polypeptide chain, and because of that reason we will refer it as translation amplification. Translation amplification means, as already we know, that is the multiplying. So many copies, producing many copies of one polypeptide chain by using just one mRNA. This overall process will refer it as translation amplification, that is occurring in prokaryotes. So that is a little bit difference here in between prokaryotes and that major translation process. So there just one ribosome get used, and here many ribosomes have been used. So this is the thing here. I think you have got the major steps, how the steps occur exactly one by one. And one more thing, while explaining this particular concept, it may be the little bit it needs your imagination how exactly the tRNA is coming. First tRNA is moving, it will be followed by the next tRNA with amino acid at its head, and the amino acids get shifted here, bond get formed, next another tRNA is coming from backside. Like that you have to imagine this overall process. So for that process to occur, these all different tools get used, factors, enzymes, all those different things. Yes. So from your NEET point of view, from your competitive examination point of view, this is the major concept. So I hope you have got all the points. If you are not getting exactly correctly, once again go through the same video here and look off, and once you focus on that previous video also. So why? Because both are connected here. So once you see that one and practice on this one, and on this aspect you will get some neat theory level questions, or okay, maximum theory level questions. From numerical type, such kind of questions are not, they have not been asked here. So numerical like questions, sorry, theoretical questions have been asked here. Once you see this one and connect all the three videos, first part video, second and this one, all the videos you need to connect that one. Yes, thank you.